6 months ago, when I received the news that I was being called to lead the ministry of Desiring God, I thought of a passage that I had thought of dozens, maybe hundreds of times before. And that passage is in Acts 17. Paul says, "The God who made the world and everything in it, who's the Lord, being the Lord of heaven and earth, does not live in temples made by man, nor is he served by human hands as though he needed anything. For he gives to all mankind life and breath and everything. And from one man he made every nation of mankind to live on all the face of the earth, having determined the allotted periods and the boundaries of their dwelling place, that they should seek God." I thought of that passage for at least 3 reasons. The first one is that it celebrates the meticulous providence of God in all things, life and breath and everything, including when and where we live, having determined the allotted periods and the boundaries of our dwelling place. I think that's just a complicated way of saying when allotted periods and where the boundaries of their dwelling place they live. So I take from this to mean that God has determined where I live and when I live, where I lead and when I lead. No confusion, no mistakes, just perfect, sovereign wisdom. He determined it. But these verses come to mind for me for a second reason, and it's because within these verses they give us a job description for those allotted periods and those dwelling places. Verse 27, he determined the allotted periods and the boundaries of their dwelling place, that they should seek God. What kind of seeking do you think he has in mind there? Are we seeking God because he needs our help to do what he wants to do in the world? No, we just heard he doesn't need anything from us. No, we're seeking him to have all of our needs met in him. Most fundamentally, we're seeking him because we want to find satisfaction for our souls. A satisfaction so deep and wide and strong that we experience it and feel it even in heartache, even in loss, even in death. We seek this God because with him, death is gain. And because we've found this God-entranced joy, because we've tasted and seen that God is most glorified in us when we are most satisfied in him, we do all that we can to draw others into our seeking with us, into our joy. That's why Desiring God exists. And that is why the partnership with Bethlehem College and Seminary has been so sweet all these years. First with President Tomlinson, first with Tom Steller. I lived in his basement. But then with President Tomlinson, President Rigney, and now with President Tabb. This partnership has been deep. 5 of our teachers at Desiring God, full-time teachers, David Mathis, Greg Moore, Scott Hubbard, John Bloom, and myself, were all trained in the school. And another, a 6th, who you'll hear from in a second, he did an awful lot of the training. We love this school. You are raising up, class by class, you are raising up a generation that seeks God, savors God, and shares God to the glory of God. These verses came to mind for me, though, in this new season for a third reason. And that's because one of my professors at Bethlehem College and Seminary encouraged me to memorize these verses for one of my classes. And that professor was Brian Tabb. I thank God for you, brother, for your humility, for your thoughtfulness, for your gentle courage and strength, for your masculine joy in God. And I thank God for you for equipping me, preparing me for the ministry that I'm called to in this season at Desiring God and Cities Church. You and now this cast of men and women that you're called to lead, I thank God for you. And I thank God that he has chosen you for this allotted period and for the boundaries of this dwelling place. I'm not supposed to give a charge at this point in the seminary, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, Mr. President, in this new season, with this new role and these new responsibilities, I charge you, seek God. That's why you exist. That's why you're alive in the year of our Lord, 2024. That's why you've been placed in this new post at this moment in its young history. And that's what this school needs most from you. They need a president who, meeting after meeting, decision after decision, trial after trial, stays hungry for God. And while I'm giving charges, let me give one to the rest of you. Faculty and administration, students, spouses and children, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, grandparents, neighbors, co-workers, church family. You live where you live, wherever you live, and you live when you live, right now, to seek this God. So let him be the driving and satisfying vision of your life.